I'm sorry, child.
Hello everybody, welcome to my video on Throne and Liberty. This one came out of the blue. I'd heard nothing about it. It was mentioned to me by a few of my friends and I thought I would check out the beta. So the opening cinematic, of which you saw some of, was absolutely gorgeous. I really did like it. And you're joining me in the character creation. Now, all of this is pre-recorded. I am doing a voiceover, so there will be a few jumps in this section. So I didn't want to show you the full character creator because I always take so long creating characters. It's untrue. And this was no different. You can literally change everything. Your eyes, your hair, your face, your skin colour, how many wrinkles, all sorts of things. I'm not going to say it's the most detailed I've ever seen, but for an MMO it is definitely the best, it must be said. You can pick your starting outfit. Now your starting outfit has nothing to do with your class, so pick away. You can choose whatever you want. Your class is purely based on the weapons that you pick. Now, at least initially, you do not get to select that. You will be given a bow and you will be given a greatsword. But suffice to say, you can very quickly select a different weapon. That is actually done within the tutorial. So let's just see exactly what the tutorial is like. It's very much similar to most MMORPGs. It does give you pointers on what the different buttons do. This one is a little bit complicated in as far as you get a controller showing you all of the different buttons, but then you get hints over the top of that, which is a little bit confusing initially. I guess it's because they didn't want to completely block out the screen, but at the same time I don't know why the controls were up there so much. You basically have to press and hold the select this options, I think it is now on the DualSense, the options button to get rid of it. Now I was paying attention to what was going on above and I was just looking at all of the button combinations, which seemed a little confusing, so it was up on the screen for quite a long time, unfortunately. Now, as with most tutorials, you get various different things like telling you how to block and use defensive skills and do perfect parries and all of that sort of thing. So there's nothing that's really going to blow you away in this sort of section, unfortunately. Different weapons obviously do different things, and you do have multiple different skills at your disposal. Now, interestingly, very different to most other games I have played, you can have up to 3 different sets of skills. There's only 2 showing on the screen at the moment, but those, you could potentially have 4 eventually, I think, but those 2 that are currently on screen relate to your 2 different weapon sets. So currently, as I said, you have a greatsword and a bow. Realistically, your right hand ones that are mapped to the face buttons, at least when you start, are mapped to your bow. At this stage, I also had only just there on the screen worked out how to switch weapons. So I was just using skills to take out that archer previously, but you can switch weapons whenever you want. Now, initially, as I said, you have a bow and a greatsword. You can swap your primary and second weapon to anything you want in a short time from this stage. Now, there are some unique aspects to this game. One of those is the fact you can morph into different creatures. Now, there are 3 main morphs, and those are a dash morph, which is your land-based one, a glide morph, which is your aerial one, and a swim one, which is, as it sounds, your aquatic one. You start off with this kind of saber-tooth cat type one, more like a saber-tooth lion, to be fair. But with that, you also have an eagle, I think it is, as your glide, and you have an otter-type creature for your swim one. You can change those later on, but it does take quite a while before you can actually do that. So let's skip ahead to a bit more action and less of the story. I did want to highlight this section though. This game is absolutely gorgeous. Now this is actually in-game. This is not a cutscene. If it is, it's a seamless integration with your character moving, etc. Because as the camera pans back, that's my character as I play him, and I am straight away in that environment. Absolutely beautiful. Now, this is an MMO, and we do have to talk about the lovely menu screens. This is as complicated as they all are, to be perfectly honest, so if you're used to MMOs, you kind of know what you're getting used to. But as you can see here, currently with the greatsword and the bow equipped, I have two different sets of skills. I have my longbow and my greatsword skills. Greatsword at the top, longbow at the bottom. And underneath that, you can see I have 3 sets. So this set currently is blank, and you also have 2 additional set of quick slots. So you, in essence, have 9. Tripping over my own words there, but there we go. So you can have up to 9 different sets of skills slotted. So the way it's worked out at this stage is you've got your primary ones mapped to R1, your secondary ones mapped to R2, but you can intermingle all of those. You can literally put them wherever you want. Now, some of the voice acting, the reason I've left this bit in is this girl's voice acting is terrible. You can tell that she is reading from a script and not really understanding what environment she's in. So I would say hers is probably the worst voice acting I've seen in the game so far. And I've actually played quite a long time. I think I've got about 4.5 hours into this. Now there are players who've already reached maximum level cap, and this is a beta. So whether they're going to extend that afterwards, I don't know. But the beta does run until the 25th, I believe. Or it could be the 23rd, so definitely look out for this when it does release, because you haven't really got long when this video actually gets published. This is a bonus video on top of my normal ones, of course. So the reason I'm showing you this section, this is actually still part of the tutorial of all things. The tutorial is pretty long, in fairness. But this is exactly where you get your weapon choices. So you'll go to this chest. This is after the very, very, very first tutorial area. You get to a town, and this gives you more of a tutorial sort of, this is how you pick things up, this is how you equip stuff, this is how your skills and everything works and your menus, and this is how your different weapons work. So you can create a mage, you can create a soldier, anything you want you basically can build. So once you've been here, your inventory is pretty much full of different weapon types. So I always like playing either a berserker or a defender. Now sword and board is obviously the defender class. I was initially confused by this here, which is a wand. It's a wand and a book, but when I first looked at it, I thought it was a square shield with like a short sword in front of it. And unfortunately later on I made that mistake again, and I managed to purchase an uncommon version of a wand and book for my defender. So I wasted that purchase. So do look out for that, and don't be as silly as I am. Right, at the bottom of the screen you could probably have seen that my 3rd set of slots was actually showing there. Basically your R2 turns into the face buttons and the D-pad, but I also had the problem where whenever you switch weapons your skills don't change. So you slot skills, and those skills stay even when you change your weapon. Now, I didn't realise this. Your defense skill is also the same. So you will find that when I get into the next battle, I actually spend a long time not blocking, because I'm trying to block, but unfortunately it won't let me. Now, a couple of times I did fail to even try, but you can see there it says on the bottom of the screen, your skill cannot be used because of the weapon you have equipped. I did not see that while I was in combat because I was paying attention to the enemy, and I was wondering why I kept getting hit and my blocks weren't working. So do make sure that when you change your weapon, you change all of your skills as well, because if you don't change your skills, you will not be able to do anything apart from basic attacks. Now, talking of basic attacks, the main thing that you will do in this game is very similar to Dragon Age, if you've played the Dragon Age game, especially Inquisition. When you press your attack button, you go into auto attack mode. Now, I didn't realise this, but when you go into auto attack mode, the only thing you need to do is basically press R1 and then one of the face buttons, or R2 and either a face button or a D-pad to do your skills. The rest will be done automatically. I always have a bit of unease at this, and I'm not sure whether I really hate it or whether it's just not my favourite, but I do prefer if I am pressing the buttons for actions. So if I hold the button to attack, that's fine. If I let go, I want to be able to stop attacking. In this, you have to walk away if you want to stop attacking. I don't know. I think it's not a big thing. For me, it just means that it's taken out of my control, and that's the part I don't like. So I wanted to show you this bit, because being a PlayStation player, and this channel is all about PlayStation games, I wanted to ask a very, very serious question. Now, they do this in all Eastern games. They add in a funny character. So, Monster Hunter, you get the cat things. Why is Sackboy in this game? I don't get why Sackboy is in this game. It's not a PlayStation game. But we have a Sackboy wizard type thing following us around. I don't know whether I love it or hate it, the fact that they have these toys, little toy characters in the game. And don't get me wrong, I play Diablo and I know that we have little creatures following us around, but most of the time they are, I don't know, disgusting. You don't usually get a nice character following you around. It's either a golem or just something a little bit creepy. It's literally a sack girl, sack boy, sack thing with a leprechaun's hat on, and I'm a little bit confused, but I'm not going to spoil too much about this thing's purpose or anything else. But yeah, I just wanted to show that we do have an old PlayStation friend following us around in this game. So even if you're on PC, you will have a PlayStation icon. And, you know, caveat, I do know it's not actually Sackboy, but it may as well be. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. But as I say, it just seems to be something that Eastern games do tend to have quite a lot of. So at this section, I have gone quite a bit further into the game, and this is when I have kitted up a little more significantly. So my character is level 5. I'm not going to go into the leveling of this game because it's as confusing as hell, and I'm not quite sure what's going on yet. Like I say, I've personally got about 4 or 5 hours in so far, and I'm still confused by it. Maybe it's the fact I'm old, I don't know, but yeah, you seem to have multiple different leveling types. So you have your character level, you have your skill level, you have your armor level, you have your battle pass level, you have your... I'm sure there's another level in there somewhere. But yeah, it definitely takes getting used to for me. One of the reasons I did want to show you this section though is because unlike most MMOs I've played recently, and I have played Final Fantasy XIV, and I've also played Elder Scrolls Online very recently. I also played Neverwinter for a very long time. This tends to have puzzles in it, and they're I'm not going to say they're hard puzzles. They're not like ridiculous Uncharted level puzzle or anything like that, but it's something where you have to do things in a certain order. And this is an opening section, so I don't know whether it gets harder later on, but it's something interesting to take consideration of. As you can see on the screen, we've got a book, a chest, and a chair, and you kind of have to get them in the right order and do certain things to certain things, and I don't know, it's something nice and different. So it's not just a standard fetch quest, it's not just a standard kill these things quest. So I was unsure, because I'm not used to it in this type of game. I really didn't know what to do. So you can see that I've got a cog icon, and it does say on the left hand side that when you've got a cog icon, you basically hold down X when the cursor changes and you can then manipulate it. So I was just having a look around, and then you press and hold X, and I thought I had to get the exact location where it changed because I hadn't read it properly. When I did, I got the book open and grabbed the key. Then of course that key will fit that lock in that chest, and once I've gone in that chest, then, well, you can guess the rest, I suppose. But it's something different, it's something nice. Now, I haven't really spoken much about what I think of the game. I've gone a lot about what it talks about, the fact that it's quite a good looking game and various other things, but I haven't actually given my opinion of what I think this game is like. So let me rectify that now. I actually really like this game. I have played quite a few MMOs in my time. I named 3 not long ago. I have played World of Warcraft as well, and I would say that this is definitely a contender for one of the best I've played, considering this is a beta, so this is not a finished game. Things may change. I have had issues with it. I have had it where cutscenes haven't played, so I've just had the sound with a black screen. I've had it where whenever I tried to basically advance the battle pass, I got free currency because it's the beta. I will not have that when the game fully releases, obviously, but I think they've given that so people can advance a bit further. But when I tried, it kept crashing the game. So although I basically said buy some levels, it wouldn't let me accept it, and it wouldn't let me cancel, so I couldn't get away from that screen at all. But other than those little glitches, I think for a world that's got a lot of people in it, it is working really, really well. Now, as with MMOs all over the place, this does have a number of different servers that you can join. So make sure you join the same server as your friends, because if you don't, you will not be able to play together. One other thing about this, and I haven't experienced this yet because I haven't been able to create or join a guild, this is very much guild focused. So you are supposed to do world events and PvP and everything like that with a guild so that you can earn guild rewards. The bigger your guild, the more people in your guild that actually participate, the better you are going to do. So guilds are extremely important. Unlike in other games of this type, where a guild is kind of just an easy way of joining up with friends, this one has a purpose. I suppose the Elder Scrolls Online does as well in some regards, where you get basically your guild traders and your guild strongholds and things like that. But this one is very much a case of everything is done together with your guild. It's not just the ability to unlock a trader. So it's definitely something that I would like to investigate and look into later on. Now, I don't know whether I'm going to get much further in the beta, and I definitely won't be doing any more videos for the beta, I wouldn't have thought, because I don't think I'm going to have enough time to get any out that's going to be meaningful. But I can see myself getting this. Now, let's put this into context. This game is free to play. You can buy advanced packs, which gives you 5 days early access, and I'm not sure I agree with that. I get that they want packs that can support the developers, but I'm not convinced that giving people 5 days early access when PvP is involved is a good idea, because those people will have a completely unfair advantage over those people who don't pay the money. Now, considering you still have in-game purchases as well, so you will have people who buy it or don't pay for it but get it on release day and spend a lot of money in the store. They still do not get that 5 day early access. I never like early access things when there is a PvP element because it gives an unfair advantage, but that's just my opinion on the matter. So overall, I would say combat is quite satisfying. I think the combat in Black Desert Online probably has my favourite, most impactful gameplay. I would say Black Desert Online is definitely the best combat mechanic. You really feel the impact of every hit, etc. But this one isn't that far behind. I do think it's better than the combat in the Elder Scrolls Online. I have preferred the Elder Scrolls Online to any other MMO for quite a long time now, and I haven't played anywhere near as much as I would have liked to. I have got the latest expansion in that though. I just haven't really played because I've been involved in other games such as The First Descendant and V Rising, but this will probably take at least some of the time away from the Elder Scrolls. As I say, the fact that this is a beta means that it can only get better, and if that's the case and it's already on a par with the Elder Scrolls Online, then I can see this taking over. Especially as you've got things like Final Fantasy XIV, which is still subscription based, and in this day and age I'm not sure that model is really going to get them any new players. The old ones are probably more than happy, same as World of Warcraft, but I don't think new players are in for the forced subscription model. I think the Elder Scrolls Online does it right, where you get some benefits from paying a subscription service, but it doesn't stop you playing the game if you don't pay for it. I think that's a much better method. This free-to-play, I think the monetization will be quite heavy, so that's definitely something to consider, and it does have a battle pass. But as far as the gameplay is concerned, I actually do like it. You have your full crafting, you have enchantment, you have all of the different skills, you have different weapon types. It's got all of the things that are required and necessary to have a really good MMO. If you're an MMO player or even just an RPG player, definitely consider this game. Join up with your friends, make a guild when you're able to, or join one if you want to get straight into the action. And I definitely look forward to seeing you in this game when it finally releases. Now, I say that, I don't know whether this is crossplay. I'm hoping it is. I'm not sure. So if you're on PlayStation, then we can definitely potentially, I say definitely, but potentially get together in game, even if we're not in the same guild. Maybe we can do an alliance, I don't know. But yeah, I will be getting this game and hopefully doing more videos on it in the future. I would advise you do as well. Get the game, of course, not necessarily the videos. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you've liked this video, then please make sure you do show me by clicking the like button. Subscribe if you are new to my channel, or if you are a returning viewer and haven't yet subscribed, then I'm not quite sure why you haven't, because you've obviously come back for a reason. So please subscribe down below, followed by the bell. Thank you. And leave me a comment as well. Comments really help. I don't get anywhere near enough comments. I want you to tell me what I'm doing right. I want you to tell me what I'm doing wrong. I want you to tell me what you want to see in the future. What video games, what types of video. Do you just want comparisons? Do you want more of this type? I don't know. Whatever you want, just let me know in the comments. It really, really is important. Not only for me as a content creator, so I make the right content, but also for that good old YouTube algorithm, so it starts recommending my stuff and my channel can grow. That's obviously what I want to happen. But I'm going to leave it there. I will see you in my next video very soon. I'm not sure what it will be, but I'm sure it will be on one of my existing games, probably First Descendant or V Rising. And hopefully you all take care, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.